Okay, so Nike has been on a lawsuit spree lately, trying to tackle every single brand that has copied their shoes. First it was Warren Lotus, then it was Kool Kai, Ami and a Hellcat, Lil Nar, and now Bape. But you gotta give Nike credit. As Bape continued to bootleg their shoes, Nike waited and waited and waited. It took Nike 23 years of waiting, but now they came to get it back in blood. After 23 years of trademark infringement, Nike is suing Bape and they want all the profits that Bape has made from their Bapestas. To better understand this lawsuit, let's just go ahead and take a look at all the paperwork. In the preliminary statement, Nike outlines the trademarks for their Air Force 1, Air Jordan 1, and Dunk sneakers. They then list Bape as one of the significant dangers to Nike's rights and say that their footwear business revolves around copying Nike designs. After giving a few examples of Bapestas that Nike says are verbatim copies of their shoes, Nike outlines the history of Bape's continued infringement. They even compare Bape to the Whack-A-Mole arcade game and say that it was hard to catch them because their shoes would pop up and then disappear completely from the US market. But when Bape was purchased by a Hong Kong conglomerate, things got way worse for Nike. Bape was now able to increase the volume of their production and they began expanding their presence in the United States. Although Bape's copying has always been unacceptable to Nike, Nike now sees it as a legitimate danger to their business. They even notified Bape to stop bootlegging their shoes, but Bape refused to do so. Instead, they upped their production and produced even more pairs. Nike then goes on to provide some factual background that pretty much explains their shoes and the cultural significance behind them. But to be honest, we kinda can just skip that part. After laying out their background, Nike goes on to explain Bape's unlawful activities. According to the lawsuit, Nike says that the Bapesta, Bapesta Mid, Courtsta, Courtsta High, and Skatesta all infringe upon their trademarks. Nike says that Bape began selling their shoes in the mid-2000s, but they had minimal presence in the US market. Nike even met with Bape back in 2009 to address their trademark infringement, and in 2016 they forced Bape to redesign their Bapestas to look less like Nike shoes. But in 2021, after years of low quantities, Bape drastically increased their production and Nike didn't like that at all. Today, Bapestas are available for purchase nationwide and in US stores. They also just got a huge investment from CVC Capital that will help them expand their business both online and in person with a main focus on the United States market. Nike then goes on to provide more examples of Bape's continued infringement. They even outline the confusion that these shoes cause in the marketplace. For instance, Nike says that Bapestas cause initial interest confusion, post-sale confusion, confusion in the secondary market, and confusion of affiliation between Nike and Bape. They even show examples of people listing Bapes on the secondary markets as AF1s, Air Force 1s, and Dunks. Next, Nike says that Bape's collaborations with brands like Marvel cause additional confusion to customers. To further outline their confusions, Nike brings up the fact that both Bape and Nike shoes share the same manufacturing, sales channels, and customers as their own. They then go on to say that Bape has created a situation that will injure Nike's reputation and goodwill if they aren't stopped. It says here that Nike sent an updated cease and desist to Bape on August 24, 2022, and despite the fact, Bape still continues to promote, sell, and distribute their infringing shoes. Later in the lawsuit, Nike says, as a direct and proximate result of Bape's wrongful acts, Nike has suffered, continues to suffer, and/or is likely to suffer damages to its trademarks, business reputation, and goodwill that money cannot compensate. In the end, Nike argues that Bape has knowingly infringed upon their trademarks and continues to profit from their designs. If Nike wins this lawsuit, they want Bape to stop making shoes, destroy all the shoes that are currently in circulation, pay Nike for damages to their brand, and give Nike all the money that Bape has made from their Bapestas and more. Do you think Nike is winning this lawsuit, or should Bape not even worry about it? Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'll see you next time. Peace.